Welcome back, guys. Here we go. So sail pan time. We got it done. A little bit more to go. Just wanted to put it through the English wheel. Hopefully you're going to see why in a moment. But used the brake on this and also ended up using the English wheel. And we will one more time. So first things first was that I did end up getting this all welded up here on the top. So did it just like I said I was going to, with putting the round bar in the top of it. So a little piece of round bar, just blended that in with a nice pool of weld and grinded it down all flat. So it's nice and solid, feels really good there. It's going to be awesome. Other thing I did do was make up these bottom pieces here. So we're all countersunk now with the bolt sitting nice and flat. And when that rotates, when the tailgate does get used, it's not going to destroy the paint whatsoever. Ended up using a 1/4, was the same size as the front of that screw, and then mapping it out and just grinding it out with the little angle grinder after drilling some holes. So brings us to the panel here. So this panel wasn't too bad. Ended up just double backing all my welds on this front reveal. I put it through the brake initially and I couldn't get the right thickness here. It's just over 1/2 inch and I couldn't get anything close to that. It was more or less 1 inch in total. So at that point I really just bent my rough in for the size of this and then cut off the front. So this front piece here does have a nice bevel on it to match the car, and that went through the English wheel. And then as well as all that, welded afterward. Just on the outer edge. So this was a brake, and then that was this piece of pipe here that I welded up onto the bench. Just use that as my little pipe anvil, if you will. So now what I want to do here is go with the English wheel. Now what you'll see here is how flat this panel really is right now, just up and down. And the goal of what I'm trying to do here is create just the littlest kick that's going to be in the middle of it. That's because the fenders, they're rounded. Everything on this truck other than the bed sides is rounded. And to throw another dead flat piece into this mix, it's not the way. I don't think it's the way. So I think we put this through the English wheel real quick. We'll switch out this anvil for something that's going to work better. That you can see has so much of a convex that's just going to be marking up the piece of metal here. Like that, this one's pretty flat. Even flatter wouldn't be bad. You know what? Let's go with this one, yeah. This is just to kind of pop up the top. So almost how you get an oil can into some flat sheet metal. This obviously doesn't have it. It's straight and it's flat, but we just want to get that little pop up in it. And I think it's going to make all the difference here for sure. Just that right there, I can see it already popping it up. Just staying away from the very edge. Don't need to get that close to it. It's really the center here that you're going to notice what I'm doing here when we're through. Perfect. A little more. All this is going to do is stretch the metal in the center and push it. And in this case, we're pushing it up. Right on. So if you take a look here, now we've got the convex going. That's perfect. So now it's coming up in the side here just the way I'm envisioning it. So what I want to do now is show you guys. We'll put this in. I've got vice grips hanging out somewhere. They're on the table. We'll clip this in. I'm going to show you just what I'm talking about. Obviously, I'm going to drill holes in there, mount everything exactly how we want it. But right now, we're just mocking up, seeing what we like, right? Getting it the way we like it. Awesome. Now, how nice does that fit? But so what we just did was, instead of, I guess we could have mocked this up once being flat to show you. That would have been the wise thing to do, but forgive me on that. However, this was dead flat. So you're coming here with the fender, which has a little crest in it, right? And then it comes down. So instead of this just being flat, now this too has just the slightest curvature, only in the flat. You're still straight up against the back, you're still straight up against the front, but just the littlest convex in here, which of course correlates to the opposing side because the fenders, they're identical. But that, I'm pretty happy with, I would say right now. Now, I will, of course, film some more once we're done here, but let's see. Oops. Don't know if that's going to pick up, but now we have just the slightest little arch in there. And all that's going to do is blend our panels all together. Because remember, as flat as this is right now, we're putting in a monster Terraplane symbol there. And then that's going to break up that flat panel. So all we're going to see is this on each side flat, and then the circles and smoothness flow, if you will, of the rest. So. Right on. So now the last piece here, I just cut up this piece of cardboard. You can kind of see the profile I'm making here. And that's what I'm thinking here for a cap on the top. Obviously trued in, comes up a little bit to make everything flat with this. But that fin, again, I really want to showcase this with the sides of it. So it's crucial that everything molds in nice and flat there, and we hang out just below the bar, of course, still. Right on. So now I'm almost thinking I can get onto the front of this thing with the grill. Dismounting the grill shell itself here, where my rad's gonna go. I did talk to a locale out here that's got a converted over Model A rad, which has some nice mounting that goes directly onto the frame. And that I really like. Gonna see what we can work for a trade or something for it, considering it's rebuilt and a new core, everything like that on it, you know, try and not pay, right? Right? Anyway, actually, speaking of not paying, now I'm talking about exhaust work on the back here. So what I'm thinking here, I'm going to put in a picture of the 57 Mercury I got. You'll see right now the chrome that comes off the bumper, how those are kind of fitted into there. This is what they were doing in 57, Big M. You see it on the new Dodge trucks around, you know, everybody's got one of them with the Hemis in them. But, you know, we're going to be copying what Mercury did or feeding off of what Mercury did, not Dodge. I want to be very clear that this is not that. But now if a guy could put a Frenched in circle, something like that, to accept the exhaust pipe coming out the back, that's how I'd like to do the duals. So now back to the free. So I'm up in the center of BC, geographic center, and that was the garbage dump of Vanderhoof, British Columbia. These Harley pipes were just sitting in the garbage dump. So out here in the city, you got to pay to get rid of garbage. Up there, it's pretty cool. You get to do what you want. You get to go through it and pick what you want. But I love these fishtails. So whether or not I actually use these or I get little fishtails that are going to go on, I think the truck has to have fishtails at this point. But cut this off, relocate it down here somewhere, just have them as sleeves, no actual glass packs in them or nothing, and French these things in there, poking out just like that. I would love the fishtail look with dual exhausts on it, and that's a decision to make. So why don't you guys let me know in the comments what you think on the fishtail idea. You know, I like it, so. But as always, I want to try and include everybody on this. You know, let's have some fun here and let's do this up and, you know, just have some fun. So let me know what you think on the fishtail exhaust. I'll do another walk around and just try and film a little bit more here just of how the sail pan looks. But that English wheel that we just did there, that little convex, I can just see it shining. It peaks right about here. About a foot wide, little peak, and then really mellow coming off so that this bump, like I'm saying, kind of has another little bump. However, it goes away because we have the bent edge here, so right on. Cool. Talk to you later then. And thanks for checking it out.